this lesson is over dividing polynomials. We're going to first divide polynomials with long division, and then we're going to learn how to divide them with sympathetic division. This is going to be handy in factoring polynomials of higher degree than 2. So this is a tool that we need to be able to do that. So let's first divide 16x cubed minus 12x squared plus 20x minus 3 by 4x plus 5. See if we can zoom in a little bit here. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is write the polynomial that we are dividend, that we're dividing 16x cubed minus 12x squared plus 20x minus 3. Then put a divide bar over that, and what you're dividing by out front, we're dividing by 4x plus 5. So write 4x plus 5 out front. Now to divide this, we're going to look at the leading term of each piece. We have 4x here and 16x cubed here. We want to think about what we would need to multiply the 4x by to make 16x cubed. To do that, we need to multiply it by a 4, and we need 2 more x's, so 4x squared. So again, we need to multiply 4x squared by 4x to get the 16x cubed. We take what we need to get the fronts to work, and we multiply that by this binomial, and we write the answer here. So 4x squared times 4x is 16x cubed, and 4x squared times 5 is 20x squared plus 20x squared, and then we subtract down. Now this is really just the same as multiplying or dividing numbers, but it just looks a little more complicated with polynomials. So notice these subtract to 0, and that's what we want. 16 minus 16 is 0. Negative 12 minus 20 is negative 32x squared. We bring down the next term, plus 20x. Then we look at the leading term of our divisor and the leading term here in what remains. And we think, what can we multiply 4x by to make a negative 32x squared? Well, 4 times 8 is 32. I need a negative 8. And I'm writing that right above that term that we subtracted. 4 times 8 is 32. Negative times a positive is negative. And I need an x. 8x times 4x is negative 32x squared. Then I take what I got and I multiply it by each of those. So negative 8 times 4 is negative 32x squared. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40x. And then we subtract. This is where the mistakes happen. The most often is in the subtraction, so be really careful that you are subtracting. Negative 32 minus negative 32 is 0. 20 minus negative 40, that's the same as plus 40, so that's 60x. Bring down the next number, minus 3. So then we think, what do I need to multiply 4x by to make 60x? And that is 4 times 15 is 60. So I need a positive 15. So up here, I write plus 15 and I multiply that by this and write the answer here. 15 times 4x, 4 15s, that's 2 15s is 30, so 4 is 60. 60x, 15 times 5, 60 plus 15 more is 75. That's a positive 75. And now I subtract. 60 minus 60 is 0, negative 3, minus 75 is a negative 78. We can write the final answer as the 4x squared minus 8x plus 15 minus 78 over what we divided by, 4x plus 5. So that would be the answer of that division problem. Again, we took our remainder, sometimes you might see that that's the remainder over the divisor. So they might ask you to write it with the remainder over the divisor added on, and that's what that is. Okay, so let's try again. Here, this is a great one to try. X to the fourth minus 22 by x plus 2. Why is this great? Because notice there's terms missing. There's no cube term, no squared, no linear term. And what do we do if there is a term missing? That is an important thing to note. It won't work unless you put in the zeros of those terms. So we have 1 x to the fourth plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 22. We need all those zeros in there. We're dividing that by x plus 2. Here, I'll write my directions. Divide this by that. We're going to do the exact same thing we did on the previous problem. We are going to look at the front of our dividend, and we're going to look at the front of our divisor, and we're going to think, what do I need to multiply 1x by to get 1x to the fourth? And to do that, I need to multiply by 1x cubed. 3 more x's will give me x to the fourth. Now I'm going to take this, multiply by this, and write the answer here. X times x cubed is x to the fourth. And x cubed times 2 is 2x cubed. 2x cubed. Now I'm going to subtract. That is 0. Should always be 0. If it's not, we made a mistake on picking our number at the top. 0 minus 2 is negative 2x cubed. Making sure we're subtracting. Drop down the next term. 0x squareds. Okay, so we're going to look at the front and think, what do I need to multiply x by to make negative 2x cubed? Well, I need a negative 2 and 2 more x's, so x squared. Negative 2x squared, and I take that and I multiply it by this. So you have negative 2x cubed minus 2 times, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x squared. I'm going to subtract. Anything minus itself is 0. 0 minus negative 4 is positive 4x squared. Bring down the next number, plus 0x. Now I think, what do I need to multiply x by to get 4x squared? To get that, I need a 4 and an x, plus 4x. I take that 4x and I multiply it by the x plus 2. That's 4x squared plus 2x. And we subtract. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2x. drop down the next term, minus 22. What do I need to multiply x by to get a negative 2x? I need to multiply by a negative 2. Negative 2 times x plus 2. Negative 2 times x, that's negative 2x. And negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Again, here be careful subtracting. You can use a calculator to help if that does help. Negative 2 minus negative 2 is 0. Negative 22 minus negative 4, that's plus 4. So we've got a negative 22 and a plus 4, so that is a negative 18. So what we're going to do is going to take that remainder, and so minus, since it's negative, 18 over, and then whatever this divisor is. Put that on bottom, x plus 2. So there we have the solution of our division problem. We don't normally do long division because it is long. And especially if you're just dividing by a binomial, we can solve that binomial and use synthetic division. So watch my next video on the shortcut for long division, synthetic division, so that you can do this a little bit faster.